Hi, it's Chris from Bridges Properties, and today I'm sitting down with Niall, one of our estate agents, to find out a wee bit about his journey so far with Bridges, a wee bit about his time in Dubai as well, and also just what things are like for him today. Niall, good to see you.
Chris, thanks very much for having me on.
Thanks for your time. So I'm just going to kind of play the tape back. So you joined us back in August of 2024, am I right in saying?
I did. That seems like a wee while ago then.
So that'll be coming up 2 years, which is crazy. You think about it.
I was thinking to myself this morning, like the difference from the business to when I first joined and everything that's been achieved in that time. It's mad in a time frame of 2 years what we've actually done.
Big time, big time. It was similar to when I was actually chatting with Charlotte, joined the business just the month after you, I think it was as well, and I said the same thing. Like when I think back to where we were at in the B office in Whitburn, and just even that full interview process, and then as you say, where we see ourselves today, but the growth in you has been insane since then as well. So let's talk us through like some of the lessons you've learned in that time for the person that did walk in the door back in 2024 up until where you're at now. What's would you say the biggest lessons that you've learned in that time?
100%. I think first of all, I still remember going in to meet you that day for the office, the baggy shirt and the dodgy tie and stuff like that. But never, to be fair, probably never assumed myself actually coming how far I actually came, and I really do believe that. Biggest thing for me, I was saying that to Charlotte as well actually the other day, just becoming comfortable with being uncomfortable. That was the biggest thing for me. And we always talk about different growth periods and growth areas, and I think slowly through trial and error, that kind of got me to where I'm at. Because again, going back to that person that walked into the office as well, I would never have imagined we would go on to achieve some of the stuff we have in terms of numbers and records, and obviously, like you said, going to Dubai as well. And that's all just came from putting myself in a place where I wasn't comfortable, being competent, and then just looking to sort of become an expert on that and sort of further details.
Aye, amazing. And if you think, but when you were talking there, I'm just thinking, our whole model as a business is really to bring people in with the sort of, I'll say like the minerals there, like the right attitude, the willingness, the kind of get up and go and make it happen sort of attitude. There's a saying that I've heard, and I keep repeating it, and it's you can't put in what God's left out. And that for me just really like it's exactly what I think of when I think of you. You came in with that right attitude. If I think about all the things that you've been through in your time that you've been with Bridges, but you've just always been really willing to put the graft in, learn, fail, get up again, and just get better and better and better through time. And that for me is what we do really well as a business, but we can only do it really well as a business when we've got the people there with the right minerals to come in and do it. And I think that's exactly you. If you think you would have started, you probably didn't know what a home report was. You wouldn't have known how to conduct a evaluation or a viewing or anything like that. Like you had all of that to learn. But I think that's actually a real advantage, because if we had, brought you in or anybody else in with 10, 15, 20 years experience with another estate agency, there's loads of bad habits, whereas we can mould and shape it together. And I think that's exactly what you've done.
100%. I think the biggest thing for me as well, even from starting out here, but when I went away as well, she's just been a sponge and willing to absorb and listen and take feedback. Because I came from a place where I felt like I was really comfortable in a job before. I probably didn't need to make the move, but it just all worked out well. But going in there, shadowing, being a sponge, taking on advice, and it changes your life really in terms of, from a professional point of view as well.
100%. Where do you think that drive comes from? That's one of the biggest things I've noticed for you is like you've got a real drive that is I can totally relate to it. It's in me as well. Where would you say that comes from?
Do you know what? I honestly believe following the process and then sort of getting slight rewards from that as well. And again, in so many different aspects, I believe that we done a training course in Birmingham probably this time last year. And it's the first time I've been in a room with really sort of industry leading professionals and just getting a glimpse of what their lifestyles like. Obviously going to Dubai as well and seeing the top performers, the top brokers over there. First of all, seeing how relentless they are, but how they're looking to improve every single day. And the biggest thing, I had the worst persona of it. You see all this kind of the sexy lifestyle of it and the fancy houses. It's not like that at all. Prospecting, being relentless when something doesn't go to plan. How do you act to that? Again, you can throw the toys out the plan, but what is the solution to that?
Yeah.
And I just think having that relentless drive, but also just getting a glimmer and a taste of success that people have had. Tom Panos, for example, looking at other people, Perry Power, we're in a room with. And just seeing how it's changed their lifestyle as well, and over in Dubai, that's a massive thing for me as well. If you put the work in, you'll get the reward out of that.
We'll obviously we'll go into the Dubai experience. And for me, when I see, you know, you were doing really well in here and you deserve that opportunity to go to Dubai massively, and I was obviously a big advocate for you doing that. And for what I can see, even though you were doing really well then, the person that's came back since then is a completely different person. Like, I feel like you've matured so much. I don't mean that in a patronising way, but just you've just got a different kind of feel about you. And I don't know, it'd just be good to ask you a wee bit about that. I know from my experience of being a self-employed agent, it taught me that feeling that nobody's coming to save you and you need to make it happen and nobody else is going to do it for you was an experience that it's done so much for me in my life and in my career. Would you say that was one of the biggest things that it gave you?
100%, both personally and professionally. It's honestly, it's the best thing I've ever done. I really do mean that. For me, it was priceless because, like you say there, we had got off the plane, and even from a lifestyle point of view, it's like, right, where do we go now? Like, there's nobody, no support circle. It's like it's up to me and Chloe, my partner. We went in there. I had my 5 days of training with the company I was with, and then that was you out on the floor. And it was such a big eye opener for me because, like you said, before we had went away, it was me and you, of course, doing like valuations and stuff like that. We were in a really, really good place. And when I think of it, it's funny because I went out there with probably less than a year's experience, wet behind the ears, you could say, but ready to almost take on the world. And then you get there, you're out on the floor, and you hear some of the conversations people are having, and you're like, wow, right, okay, like this is real. For example, I was cold calling people that have been in Dubai, landlords that have been there for 10, 20, 30 years. Like when the first Toyota garage was there before the Burj Khalifa, they've been in Dubai. And almost giving them like financial advice, talking to them about the market. And it's like, whoa, right. There's going to be someone that's better than me at this, but how do I do it? I think the most important thing for me was the biggest thing I've learned is you can't go on and pitch to people. It's the worst thing you can do, whether you're here or whether you're in Dubai. I'm a massive advocate for asking questions, ask people questions. So instead of your typical cold calls, I would always go and be asking people, look, where do you see the market going? How's the market currently for you? Where do you see it going in the next 6 months? And I think it's so relatable back here as well, just asking people questions. Instead of going in and pitching. And that's the biggest thing I've learned, I really have, and probably a mature side as well, just from experiencing that. But providing what is the solution to what people are looking for instead of going in and why they should be choosing you. I'm a massive advocate for now.
Aye, amazing. And what about the sort of environment in Dubai as well? What how did you find that in terms of, I mean, the environment and where you were working and things like that? How was that experience?
Loved it. It was really, really interesting. So all the kind of the top leading companies are all in the same building, which is really, really cool. So you're on the 33rd floor, and all the others are below you. So you pass all these people that you see working in your area. So I started off in Marina, which is the most transactional area in Dubai. So it was really, really cool. So there's so many brokers there, but you'd pass them almost every morning. You'd say, that's the guy that was at my client trying to get the listing off me. So it's pretty cool and eyeballing each other and stuff like that. But it's just a different world. It really is, just in terms of the volume, the transaction, but also the clients that you're dealing with on a daily basis. For example, I had a client that had over 2,500 properties in Dubai, and he's got so many agents on to him every day. So it's how can you stand out and be different? But it's really, really cool. But I always say the biggest thing that I learned, I really, really did, is the fundamentals don't change wherever you are. It's always the basics. The top earners, they're prospecting every day. They've got a tick sheet. It's nothing, ultra modern. Tick sheet, getting in 10 calls before 10 a.m, then throughout the day, doing the phones, back-to-back viewings, follow-up. It's all the processes that we learn in here. And that's why I think it would take you, no matter where you go, if you've got the processes, you'll be successful.
It's amazing. Brilliant. And then, obviously, things had changed for you and you came back. When was it you came back?
Beginning of March.
March, was it? Aye. So what's that? Kind of four coming up 5 months. How has things been for you since you've came back then, having had that experience in Dubai, coming back here? I'm not trying want to answer it for you, but for me, you just hit the ground running straight away, and again, it's just like seeing a totally new version of you, even though you were doing well before you had left. It's been really impressive, mate. But how have you found it since you came back?
Great, I've loved it. I really have, and I think it's just I've been able to gain so much valuable experiences that not many people could, and I'm so grateful that I done that. I
Yeah,
really am because I feel like I can bring a lot of value back as well. But I just feel really assured in what I'm doing, and I really do mean that. Just in terms of the experience I've got, the confidence from what I've done over there, and just trying to implement what I've seen over there as well, and how I can help the business here, but also the market as well, and just different little approaches. I feel are making a massive change. So almost try to bring some of what I've learned and piece together what obviously we've learned here, because I tell you what, we don't do anything different to the top earners over there, the top brokerages.
aye, amazing. That's really good to hear. And I suppose to kind of wrap things up, where do you see this then? So obviously you've been here for coming up 2 years, which is nice. You've had all the experiences. You're doing really well. What do you think is kind of next for you? Where do you see all this going?
But we want to grow the business. The biggest thing, there's so many exciting things, obviously I won't spill
Yeah.
on camera, but there's so many exciting things happening. I think this business is constantly growing. Even just speaking about my own journey from when I came in 2 years ago to where I've been lucky enough, fortunate that this business has took me to a place where I can go obviously overseas, and I'm back here again. So I really do see so much growth happening in all different departments, whether that be lettings or growing the business further afield, and I want
Yeah.
to be right at the forefront of that. Just in terms of the mindset, obviously, that you've really implemented into me, but just ensuring that we can get as much business as possible, but ensuring that that doesn't slack in terms of the exceptional experiences, because that's the biggest thing for me and what I learned. In Dubai, there's so much volume, of course, that I
Yeah.
just felt that sort of experience, and I've seen it sort of
Mm.
dwelling just with other agencies, but just with the processes here, I'm so assured. The support, the training we've got as well, it's such an exciting place. It really is, and such an exciting time as well.
Amazing. Bonus question then. Somebody is in the position that you were in back in 2024. They've not got any industry or estate agency experience, but they've got that drive in them and they want to be successful. They see themselves with a career in property. What advice would you have for them if they were thinking about coming forward to join Bridges?
Go for it. I really mean that. Go for it. I always say to the team up there, what is the worst that can happen? And like you said, if you've got the minerals, if you've got the mindset, it will work out. I'm a massive believer on that. Like I say, everything else can be trained and learned, but if you've got that mindset to be resilient, to keep going, that'll take care of itself. And there's no ceiling, particularly at Bridges. I really mean that. From seeing overseas as well, what can be achieved here, there's no ceiling. If you've got the mindset, go for it.
Brilliant, amazing. Now I could talk to you all day, mate, but we'll leave it there, and we'll definitely do a part two at some stage. But thanks very much for your time. It's amazing to see how much you've grown, and I'm really excited to see where you're going to take it as well, mate. So well done.
Thanks very much. Look forward to part two.